Welcome, viewers, yet again to my channel, Success Coach Paul, the hub of motivation, the hub of inspirational stories, success stories of great people out there in the world who have made it by the grace of God. And today we are highly graced with a high caliber of a coach in the coaching arena. Welcome, Coach Dallas. We are joined by the Ghana national rugby coach. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you, Pastor, and thank you, viewers.
Great, great. I'm so excited to be meeting you on this channel. Thank you for affording such a time with your busy schedule. Yes, maybe the viewers might quickly want to jump into understanding or to know who is Coach Dallas. Who is Coach Dallas?
Love Mo Dallas Kuzorera is a young man who was born in the high-density suburbs of Mavuku in
Mm,
Harare, Zimbabwe.
mm. Yep.
Born in a family of six
Mm,
siblings, but very unfortunate. Most of them have passed on. We are only left two, me and my
mm,
older brother. But I grew up in the suburb of Mavuku. Went
mm,
to Mavuku Dombre Primary School. Then
mm.
I did my high school at Morgan High School in Arcadia.
Mm.
So basically, that's love more Dallas Kuzorera up to this stage. I'm 38 years old now.
Mm.
My birthday is in December.
Great. Exciting, exciting, exciting. I'm so excited to be interviewing you today and getting to know you better. Yes, what made you to become a coach? What made you to become a coach? Understanding you are now the Ghana national rugby coach, but I believe you have a story to tell from the conception of the passion, the commitment, the sacrifice. What made you to become a coach?
It's actually a funny story. you know, in our last year at
Mm,
Morgan High School, I
mm,
started playing rugby basically when I was in Form 1.
all right.
And I had to balance uh, club rugby and school rugby. Was
Mm,
by then when I was Form 1, I started playing for Mavuku Rugby Club,
mhm,
which I was playing for the junior levels. But at that time, I was also now playing for my school, Morgan High School.
all
And
right.
I was at Morgan High School. I was sort of like quickly pushed to the first team. By the time I was Form 2, I was already playing
Mm,
first team rugby at school, which because of the knowledge that I was getting from club level,
mhm,
so it was an advantage for me. So by the time I reached Form 2, I was already playing first team at Morgan High School. And
amazing.
in our last year, when I was now Form 4, I was now the captain of the team.
Wow. Wow.
And the school could not afford to get us a coach in my final year. We had some coaches who came in when I was doing Form 1, Form 2, Form 3. But in our final year, we didn't get a coach, which pushed me as a captain to take over the reins of coaching my school teammates. Some were older
Wow.
than me, were A
Mm,
level, lower six,
mm,
which, but I just thank God. I think everything happens for a reason because at that time, uh, having the respect of the guys who are older than you and
mm,
also giving an ear and listening to
mm,
what you have to say.
mm,
So I became a player coach as a student,
mm.
which a lot of
Wow.
people don't realize how the impact was from that point.
Mm, mm,
Because I then left school in 2002. Then the following year, I was now fully playing club rugby for Mavuku in the then National Rugby League in Zimbabwe, which was the top flight league. I was already playing for Mavuku at 18 years old. So
wow,
that experience of coaching my school as a player then pushed me to start coaching in my local area in Mavuku. I became more like a development officer for Mavuku Sports Center. So I started moving around in schools, coaching basically boys of my age. I coached the first school that I coached that time was Tafara I1. Then that was 2003. Then in 2004, I started coaching Mavuku High School. Then I coached Mavuku High School from the year 2004 to 2007. So the passion developed from there. I was playing at the same time coaching. So that pushed me from there. The passion developed, helping my other guys from our area, giving them the knowledge, every knowledge that I was getting from playing club rugby. I think that the drive to push other boys from our area to be better in life actually drove me to be more passionate into coaching, and I just took it from there.
Wow, that's very interesting. That's an interesting story. The passion that you had at a tender age, being made the team captain, and the level of responsibility at a tender age ushered you into the new season where you got into the community and you saw other guys who had talent. You saw other guys who were aspiring to be in the sporting arena. That's very interesting. I like it that you started from a tender age. From your, if you recall, how many years do you recall being in this field or in this arena of rugby? How many years do you recall playing or administering in the rugby arena?
A lot of people don't realize that my coaching experience is actually very long, more than even my playing career. I've been coaching for 20 years now. This is 2023. So I've been coaching for 20 years. So, and my playing career only started in 1998 and ended in 2010. So my coaching career actually is longer than my playing career. Yes.
Amazing. I'm really astonished. I'm really moved with the passion, the consistency. 20 years, it's not now. 20 years is quite a long way. And I believe in the 20 years that you have been allowed by God to be coaching and part of it being a player. I believe you've achieved some achievements, you've gained some experience. Can you share with the viewers what are your sporting achievements that you have gained over the years? There might be maybe personal accreditations or outstanding wins that you can point out that can stand out. Share with us, Coach.
Wow. 20 years is a long time. With Mavuku, we won a lot of accolades, and when we went to a lot of tournaments during that time, we won a couple of tournaments. We won the Eaglesville Sevens. At some point, we won a trophy there. With Mavuku, when I was a player, I became the under 21 player of the year in 2005. In the coaching area, I would say the biggest achievement was when I was in Zimbabwe. when I was assisting all the Rarians. I was assistant coach in 2013, and we won the national Lion Lager League with Cyprian Mandenge was the head coach, and I was an assistant. So we won the Lion Lager League, and it was good because the previous 2 years I had won the Harare Metro League, coaching the old Harare second team in 2011 and 2012. So, and I have also some stories where some teams, like when I was coaching at Prince Edward with the under 16, we went 2 unbeaten seasons in my 4 years that I coached there. So it's something which is not easy to go two seasons without even losing a single game. So those are some of the achievements during my time in Zimbabwe when I was coaching and playing. So I then stepped into the national arena in 2016 when I came to Ghana. This is where everything now is interesting, because the achievements that we have managed to get through God, it's not mighty, no, by strength. It's by the grace of God. So for some of the things that even us, when we sit down and look at it, we say, wow. But at some point, we were rated as the fastest improving nation, like a rugby nation in the world, because the achievements that were achieved in a span of 3 years. Was when I went to Ghana, they were playing in the lowest tier in Africa, which are called regionals. So in our first year in 2017 to play regionals qualifiers, we automatically won it. We beat all the teams that we played there in that level. Then we got promoted into 2018 into what is, by then it was called Bronze Cup. There were teams that were also there that have been there for some time, which were more experienced than us. But by the grace of God, we managed to, in our first experience, we managed to beat them. And we also then qualified in the same year to the next stage, which was the Silver Cup. So it's unbelievable, the speed of improvements that we had, because in 2019 we're now supposed to be in what we call Silver Cup, which was the second tier to the top tier nations in Africa. So then Rugby Africa sort of like disband the system where they call it silver, bronze, and they changed it. So we're now playing a round of qualifiers. Then we were matched with Botswana, which were highly ranked more than us. Nobody gave us a chance to beat Botswana in 2019, which sort of like pushed us into the last 12 of Africa. The top 12 countries in Africa were going to play for the World Cup qualifiers in 2023. So we were put in a group which had Uganda and Algeria. Both teams are way highly ranked above Ghana. Uganda basically is, that time in 2022, they were basically maybe number 3 or so in Africa. Algeria was basically about number 6 in Africa. Well, we were merged in that group. Nobody gave us a chance to play against us. Of course, it was an experience. We lost the first game because we're just coming from that COVID situation. So we didn't get time to really prepare. We played Uganda, and we lost the first game to Uganda. Then we beat Algeria. So our chances of making the top 8 into France was now high. But very unfortunate, when we left, Uganda played Algeria. We thought, oh, okay, Uganda is going to beat Algeria, but it went the other way. Algeria beat Uganda. So
Oh.
For us, it's the biggest achievement because in a space of about 4 years, we
Mm,
moved from the lowest level of Africa to be
mm,
amongst the top 12 nations of Africa. So
mm.
for us, for even for me as a coach, it is the biggest achievement that
Yep.
up to date. I that there is every other accolade, even tournaments that we have won in seven aside and all those. They don't they don't get better than that. It's the
Wow.
best for us.
Wow.
Just being in the top 12 nations in Africa, then for us it's surreal.
Wow. Allow me to say job well done there. From just the lower rank to somewhere up high there in the league. What high level of commitment it might have been. And you have opened something in my mind that I would love me and the viewers to know. Uh, you rising from that level to that higher level in the league, it meant some teamwork, a lot of training. So tell us, coach, tell the viewers, uh, what does a typical day at practice look like for you? Like, what happens? I know there's a lot that happens every minute, intense training, but just walk us through, yes, in brief, a typical day at practice.
Uh, Normally people say if you don't plan,
Mm,
you are planning to fail.
mm, I like that.
So everything that I do
Hmm.
is planned.
Wow.
If we're heading towards a certain tournament,
Mm,
everything is planned. We put it down on paper.
mm,
We agree on the things that we are going to work on.
mm,
So my day then starts uh, every day before I sleep. I look at the tomorrow's program and the
mm,
training plan that we are
mm,
going to do on that day. Was everything, every single date, there is something that is planned for it on the
mm,
plan.
mm,
So before I sleep, I look at that. Okay, tomorrow we are going to do A, B, C, D.
mm.
Then I sleep. Then the following morning, when
Yep.
I wake up, uh, because of we don't have so much infrastructure like countries like Zimbabwe, where we can get stadiums with floodlights that we
Yep.
would be able to train in the night. We can't
Yep.
do that here. Most of the facilities don't have floodlights, so we train early in the morning.
All right.
Yes.
Yep.
So when I wake up in the morning,
Yep.
the team bus passes through after all my prayers and everything.
Yep.
The bus comes through at uh, at around 5 to 6. The
Yep.
bus comes. It picks some of the players along the way.
Yep.
Then we give the bus. Then we get to the pitch. We train according to
Yep.
the plan of the day.
Yep.
Then after that, I come back home. If I have any business that I have to do at the office, then I'll then go to the office after refreshing and everything. Then I'll basically maybe sometimes come back home for lunch. Then
Yep.
in the later in the day, there's always gym in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the team also goes into the gym around 5 o'clock after they've done. Some of them we are not yet professionals, so some of them will go to work. So then everybody we meet, then we'll go to gym. Then when you're done with the gym, I then go back to my house. Basically, that's my day. But
Amazing.
in between, in the afternoons, it's
Yep.
important that that's where the growth comes in. Because
Mm-hmm.
if during the afternoons, though, that's the time that I take to upgrade myself. Besides the educational programs that are there for from World Rugby,
Yep.
me as a personal growth, that's where I take the time to look into that. I do all the researches and everything, the communications with other coaches in the world. That's
Yep.
that's the time I'll take in the afternoon.
Amazing. Very interesting. Very interesting to hear. Um, you have really gave us the secret to your winnings. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, it's very interesting. I like that you're also someone who's spiritual. You first pray, you commit the day unto God, and you start your training, your intense training, and you also take time to develop yourself as a personal being. That's very interesting. I'm taking notes. I believe the viewers are also learning a lot from you. Now, I'm picking up something here that, like, for the team to be able to be coordinated together, for the team to be able to work to in unison, um, the question then comes, how do you build trust with your trainees, with your team? Yes, how do you build trust? You spoke about planning, but can you share with us how do you make them trust you and also them yielding to your instructions? Yeah, share with us.
Everything starts with teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work alone. I have to give credit to everybody I work with,
Yep.
particularly from even the rugby president himself for Ghana, Mr. Herbert Mensah, coming down
Mm-hmm.
to the team managers. We have very understanding managers for the men's team. His name is Akim, then Rafatu, Inusa is for the ladies. Then I have assistant coaches. My assistant coach is from Zimbabwe.
Yep.
His name is Jeffrey Chiwanda.
Yep.
He's been with me throughout this journey.
Mm.
Uh, those, it's because of that teamwork and the communication.
Yep.
Uh, we work with integrity.
Mm.
If respect goes both ways. If I
Mm-hmm.
respect the player also
Mm.
respects me.
Amazing.
Then it then helps to create a better communication channel.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I do as a coach for my players, which I think this is where a lot of coaches in the world maybe they lose it there.
Yep.
I know my players' situation
Mm.
because sometimes I visit their houses.
Mm.
No matter is coming from a rich family, no matter is coming
Mm.
from a poor family, I need
Mm.
to understand their situations. So I
Wow.
then get to visit them a lot.
Mm.
I get to meet some of their parents. I talk to their parents.
Wow.
I talk to their
Wow.
family members. Most of them, they know me. So
Mm.
that relationship, then if a player comes with a situation to me, I'll be able to understand it. I'm not just a coach on the pitch.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Coaching
I like
goes
that.
beyond, yeah, coaching goes beyond and above just the field. If you want your team to perform, it's the
Mm-hmm.
relationship that you have, the personal relationship with the player, that if a player gets a situation, you are more like I don't want to keep it like a fatherly figure.
Yep.
You are a role model to the player that if he
Mm.
gets
Amazing.
a problem, it should be
Mm-hmm.
easy for him to say, okay, this is my situation. You understand it, you
Mm.
help where you can,
Mm-hmm.
and make it easy for them. Because if they are carrying a lot in their minds, they will not be able to focus anything that you are trying
Yep.
to do.
Mm.
So some
Mm.
players, everybody might see them smiling on the field, but
Mm.
these days there's a lot of things going on in the world. Some players, they'll smile in front of people, but
Mm.
they have a lot at the back of their mind. So as a coach, those are the things that you need to identify and be able to create an environment where a player
Mm.
can actually come and open up to you and
Yep.
tell you his situation or his situation. Then you can help out. Sometimes some situations don't need you to do anything. Just to give an
Mm.
ear helps the player
Mm.
to feel better.
Yep.
So that's how
Wow.
the trust. And when
Wow.
somebody tells you something, it's
Yep.
it's for you. It's not
Mm.
for you to then go and tell somebody else. You have been
Wow.
told something. It's for
Yep.
you. It's
Mm.
out of trust that somebody has told you something.
Mm.
So if you then go and share with somebody else, if the person then hears that, oh, my story is out there, then that person will never trust you again in his life.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
that's how trust is built. I know their
Hmm.
situation. I know what they're going through. They are
Hmm.
comfortable with me. If I can help out, I'll be able to help out. So then
Wow.
everybody will be on the same page when you get on the field.
Wow. I like your style of leadership, being a brother's keeper and founded on confidentiality, where they share and you help them at their level and it ends there. Really, yes, you have really answered that so clearly. I'm really impressed with what I'm hearing. I believe the viewers are also learning. Yes, I've over the years, I have seen criticism coming straight to the coach. It might be in any other sporting arena, it's soccer, rugby, you name it. Like especially when maybe the team loses and the fans have their way of saying you should have put this one and removed this one, you should have done this. And also it comes also to the players. Sometimes they receive criticism. How do you handle your side of criticism, and how do you help as well your team players amidst maybe a loss and there's a lot of negative talk around them? How do you deal with such criticism in the field?
Uh, you know, in this professional era,
Yep.
uh, the first person you have to protect as a coach is the player.
All right. Hmm.
You don't allow the media or everything else to get into the player's head. But if it gets into the
Yep.
player's head, then he's not going to perform on the field. So the first
Mm.
role of the coach is to protect his players.
Mm-hmm.
So I then take all the shots.
Mm.
So even if I go in a press conference,
Mm-hmm.
there is no way I'm going to throw my player under the bus. Even if he didn't
All right.
perform well, I
Mm.
can't throw him because he's going to play for me the next weekend or the next
Mm.
game. So if I throw him
Mm.
under the bus, that's it. He's not going to
Mm.
perform again. So it's my job to take criticism. As a
Yep.
coach, it's your job to take criticism.
Wow.
And you have to
Wow.
be able to deal with it. How I deal with my own is
Yep.
not everything that is criticized is bad.
Yep.
Some of the things that people talk about might be true.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you then look at it. If
Yep.
people are saying a lot of things, you take it on board.
Yep.
Sometimes you don't need to fight it. You just take it
Yep.
on board. You don't need to
Mm.
respond. You
Yep.
just take it on board. Look at it. Look at the situations that happened maybe during the game.
Yep.
Compare notes and say, okay, everybody for sure is seeing that we made a mistake here and here and here and here.
Mm-hmm.
Some might
Mm-hmm.
some might not actually go well according to the plan that we had for the match. So it's
Yep.
up to you then. So okay, this one played out this way, so I might just change it around. We compare notes and we
Yep.
see that what people are criticizing is also the
Yep.
same things that we picked as a technical team during the game. Then we just fix those things. By the time we
Uh-huh.
reach by the time we get to the next game, there's a
Mm-hmm.
high chance you not see the same similar mistakes with the fixed.
Amazing. Hmm.
So not all criticism is bad.
Okay.
Criticism is good, especially if it's coming from real, genuine pundits, people who
Mm.
really understand the game.
Mm.
Sometimes they criticize real things that you might need to actually pay attention to.
All right.
So, as coaches, if you're not criticized, most of the time you don't grow. You have to
Amazing.
be
Amazing.
criticized to grow.
I hope other coaches out there are listening and taking notes that if you are not criticized, you will not grow. And
Yeah,
from what I picked from your words, you are just saying not every criticism is bad because some is constructive. You take
yeah,
it, you analyze it, and you use it for your advantage. I like that style of leadership. Not being emotional, but actually learning from your mistakes. Now,
That's all.
coach, continuing with our session. Yes, we are now in the last segment of our session with you, coach, and you spoke a lot about the Ghana national rugby team. But apart from the people that you work with around you and your immediate team, are there other coaches out there that you respect, that you say head off, or that you emulate when you also do your planning, you also peep in how they are doing? Are there people like that in your life?
Uh, you see, the, the coaching job
Yeah,
is more like that some of these things are similar in a way. I don't want to compare it so much with being a pastor, because if you are a pastor, I believe you would need some mentorship.
yeah,
You will need to be under somebody's wing.
yeah,
We can even now people use the word spiritual father.
yeah,
You need somebody who's spiritual. So
yeah.
it's almost the same being spiritual in the things of God. Then so it's the same thing. You will need a mentor in rugby who's who has so much experience in the game. He might not be a top coach, but he understands the game, that whatever you are doing, he can point you out where you need to improve as a person. So I thank God I've been under the wing of so many coaches.
Oh, amazing.
Even my up to date, my my first club coach, Mr. Njazi, he still talks to me even up to date. We
Wow.
talk, we exchange notes. He
Yeah,
helps me a lot. There are a lot of people, the likes of Bright Chiwandire, who's a former director of rugby in Zimbabwe.
yeah.
Very top coach. He understands the game. He has helped me a lot. He has been my educator when I was doing coaching courses. Even up to now, every time I meet him, he knows that this guy is going to give me problem because he's just going to be talking about rugby and knowledge. But I try to uh, take something every time I meet them. I have to at least
Yeah,
embrace knowledge. So you have
yeah.
to be humble when
Mm,
you meet them and know that these guys have been in this business for so long. So you
mm,
have to pay attention and listen to what they say. And
mm,
I was fortunate enough that when I started coaching here in Ghana, I linked up with former Harlequins in England, former Harlequins Q's coach.
yeah,
Harlequins plays in the Premiership in England. His name is Colin Osborne. He has
yeah.
coached he has coached Zimbabwe back in late 80s and mid 90s, the national coach for Zimbabwe Sables.
Wow.
Then he went back to England in 1996. He has so much experience of coaching in England. He's one of the most respected coaches in England.
Mm,
I thank God that in my journey, I also came under his wing.
mm,
He directs me so much, especially here in Ghana.
mm.
Most of the things that I do, we speak in depth. He opens my mind. He makes me see a lot of things. I've gained
Amazing.
so much experience and knowledge by talking to him and being around him. Because he sometimes comes to Ghana when we are doing camps and he helps out.
Ah,
So
great.
I've learned a lot. So, like I said, there are a lot that I cannot even mention. If I start mentioning names, the whole program will be about mentioning names of people
I know. I
who
know.
has helped me. So, and I
Wow.
appreciate them. And I
Mm,
appreciate them. I have so many people that have helped me along the way, and they know themselves. That
mm.
okay, you're not going to mention me, but they know that I appreciate the job they've done in my life.
Ah, great. You spoke about being humble. being like a sponge, that when you meet such people, you try to get as much as you can. I like that. I like that. It molds the coach who you are today to become better. I hope other coaches, other aspiring coaches, are also taking notes. I'm also taking notes that yes, for me to grow, I need to be like a sponge. I meet someone greater spiritually or in any other area. I try to take notes. I try to learn what they know, the experience, the work they've worked. I like that, Coach. You are really sharing to us life, practical life that will even change viewers who are watching this show today. And now, last but not least, as we have come to the end of our session with you, Coach, Coach Dallas, uh, people who are watching, some are aspiring coaches in different fields. Yes, some might not be aspiring to be rugby coaches, but like coaching is coaching, because what you were sharing in this session was so much important because it was life transforming, it was inspirational and motivating. So, what are your words of advice or encouragement to all aspiring coaches out there as we have come to the close of our session? So, before we leave the studio, just charge me and the viewers. Yes, who are aspiring to be where you are. Like, if I can put it in this way, you are a role model today. You are coaching at national level, but you started somewhere down there. So, what are your words of advice, words of encouragement that you can share to that one, two, or three people watching you today?
As a coach, there are some values that we need to keep or uphold, which we have an advantage rugby football union. They have their own values already, which are
Yeah.
integrity. That's the first one, integrity. Then there is passion. Then there is solidarity. Then there is discipline, and there is respect. Uh, those are the core values of rugby football union. So as a coach, you need to uphold them because
Yeah.
they play an integral role in rugby. Then the number two, I would say the coach needs to get a mentor, especially when you are starting. You need to get a mentor, somebody who can guide you, somebody who's been in the trenches, who knows every twist and turn, and he can guide you. And you need to stay humble, and then
Mm.
you need to put in time because during my we don't walk the same path, but my path demanded me to sacrifice a lot of things, especially time, because I used to walk miles and miles coaching in my residential area in Mavuku for free. That time there was no payment, nothing. It was just going into schools, miles on foot, no car, nothing. There's nobody paying you for that, and you're just developing, and you have the passion that one day I'll get to this level. So that experience has made me what I am. I know where I'm coming from, and I know where I'm going. It keeps me in line because it's not like I started at a big stage. I have a strong, humble beginning, which guides me every time when I'm getting lost. I look back, and I know that okay, I need to stay in my lane. And it's not about money. When you are coaching, your first drive is not supposed to be money. Money is just a reward at the end. What you need to do is you have to develop a character where you get satisfied by making someone better.
Mm.
For me, that's the biggest reward. A lot of
Mm.
coaches might say, "Ah, no, why is this guy saying that?" But for me, the biggest reward is to see somebody getting better. When I start coaching
Wow.
somebody and he's a new player, he doesn't understand the game. Then
Wow.
after a year or two, that player is playing top level. and people are talking about him. And when he runs on the field and he's doing the correct things, I get satisfaction out of that. Like, wow.
Wow.
And
Wow.
then it then creates opportunities for them. Some of them then go overseas to play there, get teams, and they start recognized. And for me, when I sit back and then I look at that, that's when I realize, like, wow, this is unreal.
Amazing.
So it's have the passion to change people's lives rather than the passion
Wow.
for money. Because if you have passion
Mm,
for money, you won't stay in one place. Or sometimes
mm,
the career takes you to a place where you have to be there
mm,
and change people's lives, change the way they see things for you to go further to the next stage. So if you
mm,
don't have that in you, you'll be tested. And sometimes you give up along the way
mm,
because maybe whatever you're looking for does not come at that time.
mm, mm,
You see.
mm, mm,
But if you have the passion and the drive, sometimes what you're looking for, even if it doesn't come true, you sit down and you re-strategize for you to go
mm,
forward.
mm,
So passion, a coach who doesn't have passion, that's why I find a lot of coaches who are successful, they are well known for the passion that they have. Like if he's
mm,
even on the line when the team is playing, the
mm,
drive in him to push his team and the team
mm,
to also play for him. You know, if
mm,
it goes both ways, a player to give 100% on the field,
mm,
he has to understand the passion that we have for
mm.
him to develop.
Wow.
And he
Wow.
can put his
Wow.
body on the line for the team.
Mm, wow. Amazing. Amazing. Wow, that's just some advice, mind-blowing advice. I believe the viewers have really gained a lot from your experience, your journey, your work. Yet again, allow me to thank you, Coach Dallas, for committing your time just to be with us and the viewers, sharing about your experience, your life. Um, and also sharing the fundamental secrets on the winning team, the national Ghana rugby team. Congratulations for all the achievements that you have attained over the years. And we wish you and speak blessings for more years as you be coaching. Great achievements to come your way. Great achievements to come your way. Viewers, this is what we had today. Thank you for gracing us. Until we meet again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel. More is coming. As you know, we are a channel that's a hub of motivation, a hub of inspiration, where we invite gurus in different arenas to share their expertise, their journey. And today, we had the Ghana national rugby coach, Coach Dallas. Thank you again, Coach Dallas. As we walk out, I say peace out.